mad. I felt that I've been blindsided. Blindsided because, as you guys know, and what you guys have seen for the past year and a half, Catherine and I have the best co-parenting situation that any parent can ever ask for. We actually have a better relationship now than we did when we were married. I look at Catherine as a best friend, someone that I talk to every day, not just about our kids, but about life. She called me last week about her boyfriend, how he had a homeless guy sleeping in his car. I was just over her house bringing the kids pizza, not just the kids, but her and her boyfriend pizza. We were all sitting in her living room eating the pizza, laughing and smiling. And then the next morning is when the snippet of her book comes out, and it talks about how I'm a terrible person and how I was a terrible husband. This book, yes, I was aware she was writing this book for the past however long, and I actually congratulated her when I first found out she was writing a book, because obviously I had no idea what the book was about. I just was very proud of her that she was doing something new and something for herself. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Catherine recently just released a snippet of her book that she wrote alongside a professional author that helped her write this book. And the book was manipulated, and she did not tell the full truth, which is why I'm here today to tell you guys the full truth about you guys. But I find it very odd that the first chapter of her book is about me and not about her. It's about me and how I was a terrible person and a terrible husband, when this book is supposed to be an autobiography about her life. It could have been about anything else. She talks about her family in the book. She talks about ayahuasca. She talks about her new guy. But she wanted to use me in this snippet to reel everybody in for clickbait and to monetize from the book. We went through our separation and we decided to announce it to the world. Her and I were trying to figure out what was the best way of doing it. I felt the best way of doing it was coming out with a YouTube video together, her and I side by side. And I even told her that, hey, I'll do all the talking. I'll take full accountability for my actions and all the mistakes that I've made. I said, you don't have to say anything if you don't want. Even though you've made mistakes and I've made mistakes, I'll go ahead and take all the blame. She didn't want to do that. So it left me with no choice but to make my own video. I decided to make my own YouTube video, and in that video, I basically exposed myself. And it's crazy because I still have that video today, which I'm going to show you guys right now. Here's the video. The video is over 30 minutes long, so obviously I'm not going to share the whole video, but I'm just going to share a short snippet to show you guys that I did make this video. It caused me to seek it elsewhere. It caused me to make bad decisions. I admit, I've failed as a husband. So as you can see the date on here, I filmed that video on June 12th, which was a week before we announced our separation on Instagram. Here is a recording which was on January 13th, which was the day after I filmed this video. And this was her response on why she felt I shouldn't post the video.
So I'm saying, is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, but do I have to worry about like you like saying something like after and stuff?
So I'm basically asking her, like, what is okay for me to say? She showed me her statement that she had, and I was like, okay, well, I had no say in that. You're doing what you want to do. Am I allowed to do what I want to do?
No, you just say
Okay, I'm just
you weren't happy.
Okay, I'm just asking.
Like, say what you said in your video. I just think your video would have been, you would have had a lot of backlash. I think this this way is much more organic.
So as you heard what she said that if I was gonna release this video, I would get a lot of backlash, as if she cared about me getting backlash. Into the book. She talks about a specific event and a moment in that event to basically define my character and to show that that is proof that I had another girl there that I was supposedly talking to and I was cheating on her with, when that is not true at all. Think about this. Why would I invite another girl there when this whole event is about my family and this event is about me and Catherine's bond? Why would I want that girl to see that? Me hugging and kissing and grabbing my wife's ass. You guys didn't want to show these clips. Me holding my wife's hand. But you guys want to bring up a clip where it was 5 seconds of a video of me giving my speech, and then when I gave Catherine to Mike to tell her speech, I step away for a second to catch my breath because I just got done playing in an hour-long basketball game, and I wanted to catch my breath and I wanted to wipe the sweat off of my forehead, and then I get right back next to her. She wants to use that specific moment out of all the 10 years we've ever been through anything to define me as a terrible person and a terrible husband. I'll show you the clip just in case you guys didn't see it. It's all over TikTok, but just so if you can see it for yourself. In this clip, it shows you that when I grab the mic to give my speech, my arm is completely around her the entire time. But you guys want to clip the part where I take a step away.
Again, I can't say this enough. Thank you for everyone who came out and supported us tonight. Thank you for everyone who watched the live stream. Like we always say, nothing will be possible without the Ace Family. We truly mean that.
My arm is completely around her the whole time I'm talking. But she says that she feels unseen. So then,
Baby, you want to say something?
I give her the mic and I step away for a second, catch my breath and wipe the sweat off my
We
face.
have the strongest family in the world. The strongest. Oh my God,
And I'm-
thanks for coming out.
Now let's get into the cheating. When it comes to me stepping out of my marriage, I did. I 100% stepped out of my marriage and it was completely wrong for me to do it. I take full accountability. If I can go back and change it, I would. And I'm sorry for that. I truly am. But when it comes to her acting like she had no idea what was going on, that is a complete lie. Catherine knew what I was dealing with for a very long time. I would come to her and I would voice how I feel about how I felt like I was getting no affection from her. There was a year period where we had no sex, and I would vent to her telling her what I needed. And her exact words verbatim on my kids, she said, "Just don't make me look dumb. Don't embarrass me." I don't know what that means to you guys, but to me, it sounds like, go do whatever you need to do because I'm not capable of giving you what you need. So Catherine tells you guys that back in 2018, 2019, I basically ruined her life because I stepped out of our marriage and she had no idea, when that is not true at all. She knew exactly what I was doing and when I was doing it. So much to where she stayed with me another 5-6 years after that. She continued to film every YouTube video with me after that. She even went as far as defending me, defending my name when people would ask her about me stepping out. Even to where a few months after that event of her being so hurt that a few months later, she even says, I'm her soulmate.
My soulmate, I know for a fact that it's Austin, and I also believe that my...
When she first came to me and told me that she wanted to do ayahuasca, for those of you who don't know what ayahuasca is, you can look it up for yourself. The research I've done and the friends that told me about it have said it is a legal substance that can cause someone to hallucinate and have you believe something that is not true. Look it up for yourself. And so when she first came to me and talked to me about how she wanted to do ayahuasca, in my head, I was 100% against it. Something that I do not believe in. I believe in God. But because I'm such a supporting husband, I wanted to support her as much as I could. And so I let her seek that journey, and that's what she did. Through her ayahuasca journey, she was telling me how one moment she feels like she's a psychic. The next moment she felt like she was a healer. The next moment she turned me into a mermaid. I was being as supportive as I could. She even went as far as telling me that she was the reincarnated Virgin Mary. And that she no longer wanted to have sex with me, and she didn't want to use her body in that way. You guys put yourself in my shoes, and if your significant other told you that they were the Virgin Mary and no longer wanted to have sex with you, what would you do? More connected to the spiritual side, we started growing further apart, and it was really sad because our conversations were only about spirituality, and I couldn't relate. And it got so bad to the point where she was doing it once a month. She became addicted. Usually people do it once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times in their entire life, but she was doing it once a month. And this is where, during this process and her going out, traveling and going on retreats, she found somebody. And I came across their messages, and I didn't know what to make of it. I couldn't comprehend it. I couldn't understand it. But she told me that they were friends that met through their spiritual journey on one of these retreats. Just friends. Here are the messages that I came across that I didn't know what to think of it. And that's why I took her word and believed her, because I had no idea what the fuck this meant. What does that mean? What type of language is that? No idea. But as time was going on, it started to show that this is somebody that she was connecting with. And that's why I took her word and believed her, because I had no idea what the fuck this meant. What does that mean? What type of language is that? The next moment, she turned me into a mermaid. I was being
Here we are,
as supportive
Catherine's
as I could.
fantasies.
No, don't call it a fantasy.
Fantasies are weird?
No,
I've been calling that the whole time.
No.
Dream?
I'm living my
Your best life.
my best life.
Fantasy, dream, aren't they kind of
I'm
similar?
living my past life.
Your past
in this
life.
present life in
Okay.